We're going to make cinnamon rolls this morning. So right now I'm going to wash my hands. First thing you do is wash your hands before you do any baking. There we go. Now my hands are clean, and I'll get out all the ingredients to make the cinnamon rolls. So here's the recipe for the cinnamon rolls that we're going to make. So the first thing I did was I put the butter, got the butter nice and warm, room temperature, because we're going to need it to spread later. So I'm going to take my 3 cups of flour, my 1½ tablespoons of baking powder, my ½ teaspoon of salt. I'm going to stir that around a little bit to incorporate them all together. Now I need a ½ cup of shortening. So I have my shortening here, and I'm going to take the little guide on the box. It says 1/2, so I'm just going to put the line at the edge and my knife at the edge of 1/2. So there's my line. I'm going to cut through the shortening for 1/2. So that's 1/2 cup of shortening. I use my hands. I don't like getting everything dirty. So I just do my hands so I get it all nicely crumbled. You crumble the shortening into the flour. You get it all through it. It'll take a few minutes, but that's okay. That looks good. You see some chunks of shortening there, but that won't matter. Okay, so now I got my 1 cup of milk, and into that I'm going to put my egg. Taking my fork, whisk that together till the egg is all broken up and into the milk. Okay, and you can just dump that right in. And stir. Until it gets well mixed in and it gets too hard to stir. And then back to my trusty hands. Whip it all in. Get all the dry into the wet. Now I want to grease or flour my board well so it doesn't stick. And I'm going to roll it out too, so I want lots of flour. Put my dough onto that. Little bit of flour in. There, that's good. So it's well floured. Now, flour my rolling pin really well as well, so it doesn't stick. I like to roll it out really, really big and thin. looks good. Okay. So the next thing, we take our softened butter. I've got about half a cup there. I like lots of butter, and so does Papa. You spread that all out. Get it way over to the edges too. You want to have butter on the very end. Smoothing that out good. Looks good. Take your brown sugar, again using hands, just spread it all over. And that was a full cup of brown sugar. Now the recipe calls for 3 to 4 teaspoons of cinnamon. You can measure it or you can just sprinkle it like I do. And if you want, you can even add a little more brown sugar. That looks good. So you take your cinnamon and just sprinkle it. Or measure it, whichever. Measure it, it says 3 to 4 teaspoons. And then the fun part. Take the longest end or side and then just start rolling. And this is where you're glad you have lots of flour down, because if you didn't, underneath there it would be stuck to the board. There you go, and I always just kind of fold in the ends so that the brown sugar and cinnamon doesn't come out. And you take a sharp knife. Sharp knife and put lots of, get it good and floured as well, and just slice. Just slice them all about the same size. Keep the flour on it. Cut them all right through to the end, around the same size. On your pan. I always put the biggest ones all around the edges because they need the most heat to rise. And then we'll put them in the oven, 400-degree oven, nice and hot, just like you would put in a biscuit. biggest ones, and then we'll put the smaller ones in the middle. And if I spill any, I always take the end ones and dip up the cinnamon and a little bit of brown sugar. There, all set. So I'm going to put them in the 400-degree oven. It says for roughly 15 minutes, but just watch, see if they turn golden. Okay, I'm going to check to see if they're ready to come out. Yes, they're nice and golden looking. They look perfect. Papa and I are going to now have a nice cup of coffee with a hot, fresh cinnamon roll. I hope you make them soon. Bye.